Pause for thought and join in the barking with Darren Rowe on The Mindful Dog.
Right now, though, on the Sunday Cafe, it is time to talk with Darren, Mindfulness for Dogs. Morning to you, Darren.
Hi, Mel.
How are you going now? Usually you're in the studio, but obviously today, not in the studio.
That's right, yeah. I'm at my my training centre, I'm going to call it, because that's what it's going to be for the next week or so.
Yeah, isn't it? It's a weird one. I mean, it happened so quickly. I think it took us a couple of days just to get our heads around it, didn't it?
Just a little bit, yeah. The dogs are a bit strange. Me around all the time, and my wife around. She's a teacher, so she's working from home as well. So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Suddenly all the whole family and everybody are around the dogs again, aren't they?
Yeah. And if you do have a question for Darren about your dog's behaviour, now is your chance to get it in. If you've been thinking about ringing for a while and you've never got round to it, well, good chance. 0800 844 747 is the number. You can text your question to if you want, 3920, but give us a call, 0800 844 747. So today, Darren, taking a look, because as you mentioned, we're all around our dogs and our pets a lot more. Child safety and lockdown with dogs. There's some things to be considered here, isn't there?
There is, yeah, and I think last time when we came out of lockdown also, there was a massive increase in dog attacks or dog bites. So we really want to be quite mindful of that, and we don't want to repeat that sort of situation, definitely. And there's a couple of statistics. Last year, there was something like, I think it was 112,000 dogs registered in Auckland alone. And you can imagine how many in New Zealand. So huge amounts of dogs in this country. And I don't know if people realise, and it's really quite hard to find the stats, but ACC logged 10,000 new dog bite-related incidents last year. That's 25 a day. That's huge numbers of dog bites or related dog bites, isn't it, if you think about it?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Just crazy numbers. But do you know what the most worrying thing about all of that is? That about 70% of those were, a third of those were attacks on children under the age of 12. Jeez. And that's scary.
Yeah, that really is scary. That really is scary. Pause
for effect on that one, I think. Yeah. But even more worrying, right, is 70% of those attacks were actually family pets or dogs that the children knew.
Okay, so it wasn't just rogue dogs roaming down the street.
No, that's just, and that just started me really thinking. And about a month ago, I don't know if people remember, but I'm previously a primary school teacher, and the sort of welfare of children and dogs is quite strong in my mind. I'm quite passionate in what I do every time. So I approached one of the schools that I was working at, working with a client who worked at Totara School in Mototuna, and I approached their head and asked if I could do some child safety with them, and we just got stuck into the process, and of course lockdown sort of stopped it, so we're going to pick that back up again. But for me, I'm quite passionate about making sure that children are safe around kids, because it's safe around dogs, because it's a no-brainer for me, but it's something that I see just done wrong so many times, and I just cringe every time I see it. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. 0800 844 747. That's the number if you want to give us a call. If you've got an animal-related question about your dog behaviour to Darren, then now's your chance to get it in. 0800 844 747, or you can text it if you want, 3920. So teaching your children, or just having that interaction with the dog, making it stress-free for everybody, what do you need to be thinking about?
Yeah, well, I think one of my pet hates, and I see this, unfortunately, way too many times, and it's normally when it's a dog that you don't necessarily know, or you're going to somebody's house and you're meeting a dog again, and bearing in mind that most children are bitten by dogs that they already know, okay? So it's the sniff test, and how many times have you, I mean, you've probably done this yourself, now, to be honest. Oh, just put your hand out and let the dog sniff your hand.
Yeah.
Have you heard that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And don't do it. Please just stop it, right? And there's so many reasons. But as a dog behaviourist, it just makes me cringe. It really does. Because if you think about what's happening, is you're putting your hand forward to the dog and invading their space. It would be like a massive, great big hand, about 500 times the size of yours, coming towards you. How would you feel? You'd freak out, wouldn't you?
Most likely.
Yeah. And basically what we're doing is we're forcing our sort of energy on the dog, I guess, and a dog may not be may not be happy to accept that energy, but it's been put in a place where it has no choice.
Okay, so don't put your hand out for the dog. We'll get back to this one in just a moment about those making those interactions with dogs stress-free, but we do have a caller on the line. Barry, good morning. You're on with Darren.
How you going, folks? Look, I was just having a nice cup of tea. How you going, mate?
Yeah.
I was just sort of thinking about this, mate. I've actually got dogs myself. They're working dogs. But I tell you what, mate, what I seen the other day, which really got me, there has to be more education around young people around dogs. Now, this dog was parked up. We had a lead and everything. And the kid would have been, I don't know, seven. He was kicking, sorry to say, shit out of this dog, kicking it and stomping
it. Oh, my God.
And then you often wonder why the dogs are biting these people. Then they blame the poor old dog, whatever. And then the owner come out and got stuck into the dog. So I ran up and I said, hey, look, mate, look, before you start smashing the dog, the little kid was kicking the dog. Look, I couldn't believe it, mate.
Yeah.
So this is the whole problem, mate, around things like this. They have to be educated a little bit more better than that. What do you think so?
Yeah. I totally agree, and the problem is if you look at not that the teachers have already got 1,001 things to do, but the national curriculum doesn't cover that kind of thing at all. The cases of abuse in this country are quite huge, and it starts with kids. And there's a direct link between there was a SPCA in Christchurch have done lots of work on this. So there's a direct link between the abuse of animals with kids and then continuing abuse of people later on. So yeah, it's even bigger worry actually than that.
Thanks for your call, Barry. Really appreciate it. So more work does need to be done. 0800 844 747. That's the number if you want to have your question put to Darren. As you know how you come up in our phone, Darren the dog man.
Yes. That's all right.
Darren the dog man.
Awesome.
Darren, Mindfulness for Dogs dog behaviourist. If you've got a question about your dog's behaviour, it doesn't need to be lockdown related. 0800 844 747 or 3920 is the text. So stress-free interactions with dogs. First up, don't put your hand out, as we've all been taught, to let a dog sniff you. That's a big no-no.
Yeah, if you think about it, if you imagine when two dogs meet each other, it's a really complex little ritual they go through, and every dog's a bit different, but pretty much there's a whole release of pheromones, there's eye contact, they look at each other's body tensions, they sort of sniff areas that we wouldn't go anywhere near, and that can take sort of up to 10, 15 seconds, can't it? And then still sometimes it doesn't work. But we think that we can get to know a dog within 2 seconds of just thrusting our hands into their face. It's rude. From a dog's perspective, it's really rude and very intimidating for a dog. And if you think about it, if a dog's on a lead, it can't even run away, can it? So it's got to deal with that situation.
Okay, so...
And I don't know about... Yeah?
So don't do that. Do not put your hand out. No. Okay, I've got that one loud and clear because that is, I must be honest, that's what I've been doing all these years. So what should you do then?
Yeah, so first of all, if you think about it, dogs have got amazing noses, haven't they? They've got something like 3 million olfactory receptors in the nose, and we've got 6, right? So they're way better at smelling than us, and their brains, 40 times greater area in their brain dedicated to dealing with smells, right? So they don't need to come anywhere near us to be able to smell us. That's the most important thing. So what do? The first thing we do is, and we say this 1,000 times to people, ask the owner if you can interact with the dog. Right. Most important thing, right? Ask the owner, because even a really good dog, and my dogs are awesome with kids, okay, but they might be having a bad day, they might be in pain, they might have hurt themselves, so even a good dog can have a bad day, and that's a really important thing, and the only person who's going to know that is going to be the owner. So ask the owner, is it okay if my child, or if it's a child, if I can interact with your dog? And if they say no, then guys, no means no. There's a reason for it. Don't thrust your arm anyway just because it's a cute dog. No means no.
Okay.
Right. Then what do? God, I sound like I'm on my soapbox. Sorry, guys. Second thing, stand up straight. Don't come down to the dog. Stand up straight and just put your hands down to your side. Don't, like I say, don't push them towards the dog. Just put them down to the side. Really important thing is that we wait for the dog to come to you. Okay? Now, some dogs are going to take a little bit of time. Some dogs won't do it at all whatsoever. And that's okay, because if a dog is scared of coming towards you, then it's not a dog you want to interact with anyway.
Okay.
Yeah? Just because it's a cute, fluffy one like a little Cavalier, which looks gorgeous, shall we say, doesn't mean it's going to come and say hello to you. It doesn't mean you need to then go and stroke it lots. Yeah?
Okay, just because it looks cute doesn't mean it is cute.
Yeah, definitely. Some of those cute ones that I've seen, the small ones, they can be quite mean. Definitely. Don't give it lots of eye contact when you're doing that. Okay. Eye contact in the dog world is generally quite intimidating, unless it's your dog, and then I promote getting eye contact as much as you can. But if it's not your dog, eye contact can be seen as a challenge. And if you're a small child, you don't want to be challenging a dog, do you? No. And all of these things, young kids won't be able to process very much of, okay? So it's the parents' job really to be supervising and guiding their children when interacting. It's really important. Even if you don't have a dog, guys, parents, you need to be educated around dogs, because they're the types of children that are more likely to get bitten because they don't see dogs all day.
Right, okay. 0800 844 747 is the number to call if you have a question about your dog for Darren, Mindfulness for Dogs. And Tracy is on the line. Tracy, morning to you. You're on with Darren.
Good morning, Tracy.
I've got quite a positive behaviour that I'd like to know about.
Awesome.
It fascinates me.
Lovely.
We've got a little Shih Tzu cross dog. She spends all her days sleeping, as they do, and having a good life. When we take her out for a walk and give her whether it's a short walk or a really good walk, when she comes home, it's hilarious. She just goes mad, running round and round and round and round, full bore, whacking into us, whacking into anything, wanting to be chased. And it's like she's suddenly energised. And we'd just love to know what's going on in her head and whether that's quite a common thing or not.
Wow. It's not something I normally see, I have to admit, with my dogs. Normally after they've had their run, they just fall asleep, probably because they're really tired. But that's. It sounds like you. She's just so keen. She's so pleased to come home.
I wondered if it's getting off the leash. We take her for a walk and then it's coming home, flicking the leash off, and she's just. She's so really happy and it's fun.
Yeah. So she's on lead most of the time when she's walking. Yeah, I would incorporate that into your natural exercise routine because play is really beneficial to a dog, and afterward that's the play session, and that's going to build the bond between you and your dog. So don't ignore that. Just jump in and play. Jump in and enjoy it. Really, I would say.
We do. Film it and.
Yeah, fantastic. You should send a little video on the Facebook page. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. Thank you.
Good stuff, Tracy.
Stay
safe in Featherston during your lockdown. My dog does that when she wants to go out. She does it. She goes just bonkers and sort of runs around the house and wants to play. And it is definitely fun to watch, but not when she comes back from a walk. That's when she just drags herself up the steps.
Normally they're normally tired, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
It can sometimes be a bit of a nervous reaction as well when you go to put the lead on them and they get a bit nervous, so they run away and do silly things before you put the lead on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound anything like that with Tracy there.
No, it doesn't at all. 0800 844 747 is the number to call if you have a question about your dog's behaviour for Darren Rowe, a dog behaviourist, or you can text it in if you want, 3920. It's the Sunday Cafe. I'm Mel Homer, right here on Magic Talk.
It's the Sunday Cafe on Magic Talk.
9:20 on the Sunday Cafe. Darren Rowe, dog behaviourist, is with me. 0800 with me on the phone. 0800 844 747 is the number. And we have a caller on the line from Masterton. Alex, morning.
Oh, hi.
Morning,
just a quick comment to make, a bit of a giggle as much as anything else, because I have a wee Shih Tzu who spends most of the day sleeping. And she does exactly the same thing. But whenever I take her for a walk, I get home and she just goes ballistic, runs around the house like Usain Bolt, carries on, and then finally settles down and snoozes for the rest of the day. So I just wondered if it was a Shih Tzu thing.
Maybe it is a Shih Tzu thing. I'm going to have to do some extra research on this, aren't I? You've got my intrigue now.
It's the same every time, so I definitely relate to your previous caller.
Isn't that interesting?
Definitely,
hey,
yeah.
That's really interesting. Alex, thank you so much for your call, and I hope everything's going all right in Masterton for you. Maybe it is a Shih Tzu thing. 0800 844 747 is the number right here. If you've got a question for Darren about your dog's behaviour, you've got about 9 more minutes to get it in. A text in, Darren, about, well, it's kind of timely actually. Just a thought, when dogs see folk with a mask on, they can be a bit unsure. Our Neapolitan Mastiff was very unsure of a person wearing a mask. He did walk around us when we were out walking. Perhaps just let folk know how to stay away, as their mask can be intimidating for dogs.
Yeah, definitely. And depending on their socialisation when they're puppies, if you think about it, they see a face, they see human faces all the time when they're young. And the normal sight of what they see on their face will be what they're socialised to. So suddenly when we start covering the mouth, they may not recognise it as a human face, and they can get quite scared if they haven't had that socialisation. So yeah, definitely you want to be a bit more wary of people with dogs with masks.
Yeah,
certainly.
It's not something
I hadn't actually thought about that. But
no, neither had I. I had not thought about it at all. I guess puppies these days are going to get very used to them very quickly because we're all wearing them.
Yeah, well, that's true. Unfortunately.
Another text in, how do I get my Labrador to stop barking in his kennel when he wakes up in the morning? I've tried the ignoring approach, which does not work.
Depends how early it is. Our dogs wake up about 6 o'clock. I get one dog that barks. The light is certainly a problem coming in into summer or into spring because obviously the sun's coming up earlier. What you can do is you can cover the kennel with a blanket so it's darker. We have them indoors and we close the doors so they can't actually see the light, and it's normally the light that triggers it. So that would be my first thing. The other thing is you could do, you could put some chew toys in there. You might wake up and start chewing the toys rather than that, but it's probably that when they wake up they want the toilet, and if they're locked in the kennel they're just going to bark at you to tell them to get out so they don't pee on the floor.
Right, so best thing,
likely.
Just try the blackout drapes or put something over the kennel.
Try the blackout or set your alarm a little bit earlier.
Yeah, but nobody wants to do that, Darren, particularly at the moment. Particularly at the moment, although it is getting, and it's definitely getting lighter earlier in the morning too. 0800 844 747 is the number if you have a question about your animal for our dog behaviourist, Darren Rowe. So we're talking about interaction that can be stress-free, particularly at the moment with kids and anybody really. So don't hold your hand out. Don't make eye contact. What else do we need to be thinking? Stand up straight, arms at your side. So what else do we need to do?
Put your hands down by your sides. Don't stare at the dog. Normally dogs will come in and sniff your hand when it comes down, okay, because they're quite curious. As long as they're not scared, they're quite curious. What they normally do is they come in, they sniff it once, and then they back away, and then they kind of reassess the situation to see if they've been sort of like hurt or anything like that. Then normally what they do, and especially if it's a Labrador, they'll come in and they'll kind of nose butt your hand, and then they'll go all wiggly, right? That's normally an invitation to interact and play, okay? Mm-hmm. So that's when you can then stroke the back and kind of interact normally with the dog. But this is the thing. Parents need to then reassess the dog because quite often kids will interact with the dog. They'll look like it's all fine, and then suddenly the dog will turn around and bite them. And I've seen that too many times, unfortunately. So the stress just builds up. So just because the dog is happy to interact at the beginning doesn't mean it's going to continually be happy to interact over a period of time. So assess the situation once it's done all that. Let the child stroke the dog and then step back and just watch and see what happens. Because if the dog then backs off and decides to find its own space, it's just had enough of it. Because kids can be a bit too much. They can be over the top, and they can stress the dog out, even though the dog's sort of willingly wanting to say hello. Yeah. Very important, that one. Yeah.
And also with Labradors, it's not just the hand that they butt. I mean, they're at that perfect level that they can do some damage to your pelvic bone, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, and I've seen, dogs jumping up their faces. Dogs jumping up their faces trying to get into your mouth for food. We don't do any lure training. Do you know what lure training is, Mel? Where you get the treat and you put it on the nose and then you push them into sit and then you sort of move them around with the treat. We don't do that kind of thing because if you think about it, as soon as you put your treat next to the dog in your hand and start moving it into positions, you're teaching your dog to follow and take treats from your hand like that. So especially with Labradors, they get very targeted on hands, and you don't want that when you've got kids, sure.
You definitely do not. 0800 844 747 is the number to call if you've got a question for Darren. 3920 is a text. Another text in saying my Shih Tzu does the same thing. Runs around. It's like the walk gives him a real energy boost.
Three things. Must be a Shih Tzu thing, definitely.
Must be a Shih Tzu
I'd love
thing.
if there's a Shih Tzu. I'd love to know if there's a Shih Tzu breeder that's listening to phone in and tell us about that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be really helpful. If you are one, let us know. 0800 844 747. And we've got another caller on the line for you, Darren. Ross, good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you? Look,
great.
It's not a question, it's a comment. It's a comment. Our Beagle, who's 16, does exactly the same thing. She comes home and she runs madly around the house, and she also does the same if we've been out and come back up, and she just goes berserk, runs around the house, and then settles down.
That's mad. This sounds like a research project.
Doesn't it just? Doesn't it just?
Do you think I'll get funding for it?
Yeah, something to do over lockdown.
Well, yeah, and let's be honest,
maybe,
Ross, we've all got a little bit more time on our hands at the moment around time. Even if you are trying to work from home, there's more time for projects like that. 0800 844 747. That's the number. Maybe another 3 minutes or so to get your question in or your comment. You can also text it if you want, 3920. And we've been talking about, well, not just Shih Tzus and Beagles, but just trying to make sure that your dog has a good stress-free interaction with you. So don't put your hand out. Don't hands down by your side. Don't make eye contact. And then what else is? Oh, the calls are coming in hot and fast, actually. And so what else do we need to be thinking about?
So one of the things is, one of the things is that in the Western society we've got this kind of cultural thing that that we should be able to go and say hello to every dog in the street. Now I got, I don't remember, many years ago there was a big volcanic eruption, and me and my wife were in India at the time, and we got stuck there because there was no flights. A bit of a lockdown, but a very nice one. And I got to meet quite a few of the street dogs there. And one of the things that people did not do in India was just go up to random dogs and say hello to them. So I think we've got to change this whole cultural thing that, just because you want to go and say hello to a dog doesn't mean you have the right to go and do that. Yeah. In fact, probably not a good idea, is it, really, to just go up to strange dogs and go and say hello to them, even if you know how to do it.
Exactly. It probably isn't. Now, we've got a couple of callers on the line that we can get to before we head to the news. Jack, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jack.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, hi, mate. I've got a little Pomeranian Chihuahua. He does the same thing. He runs 100 miles an hour. We're in the backyard. I've taken him for a little walk. Yeah.
I was going to say it's a small dog thing, but beagles aren't small dogs, are they?
No, but Pomeranians definitely are. They're small dogs.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jack. Hey, Helen.
I think we've got some incredibly happy dogs as viewers with viewers.
We have. Helen, morning to you.
Morning. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Morning, Helen.
Good. We've got a French Bulldog. He's about 3. It's a male. And when we go for a walk, he doesn't, every time he sees a dog, doesn't matter who it is or who's walking him, he just wants to have a go at it. He just wants to get in first and is kind of on the attack. And we just want to know, is there any sort of suggestions in terms of how we can try and, we don't know if it's anxiety or fear, but we just want to know what we can do. 3.
How old did you say? 3. And has he always been doing this? Has he always been doing this?
Pretty much since he was, sort of from quite a young dog. We don't know if something happened, when he was younger, or he did have a dog walker that he used to go in a group of dogs. So, we just wondered if there was anything we could do.
Does sound like he's carrying a bit of a trauma there. And also, if he was walking with a group of dogs when he was younger, he may have never gained the confidence by himself because the other dogs would have given him the confidence. So that's going to help you at the moment. But what you probably need to do is there's a thing called counter conditioning, where you sort of step out of distance from the dog. So if say the dog reacts, say your dog reacts about 2 or 3 meters, you go about 5 meters where he's not quite reacting, and then you give him some positive associations. So normally treats in this case, So treats to us as the dog's walking past. But you need to you want to be able to get probably a dog trainer to help you on that one, or go online and try and find something. It's quite a complex thing, and you need to get it right. Otherwise, you end up sort of treating the behaviour, if that makes sense. The best thing you can do is actually, does he? What kind of bark is it? Is it quite high pitched or low pitched?
Quite a high pitched if he does, but he doesn't. He just wants to strain, and he just wants to go and
it could just be frustration. Yeah. It could just be frustration, and he might actually be quite a sociable dog. Does he interact with people with dogs when he's off lead normally?
Oh, absolutely, and especially if he gets to know them. He does go to a doggy daycare, in town, and he's absolutely fine and loves it.
Sounds to me like it's more of a frustration bark, it might just be that. Yeah, it might just be when he gets to the end of the lead, and of course he's being restrained, and it's like, well, what's going on? So it might be that you try and be brave enough just to let him say hello.
See what happens.
You can always muzzle a dog you could always muzzle him if you're worried about him biting, just in case.
Hey, good luck, Helen.
That won't stop him interacting.
Good luck. Well, Darren, that's it. We've whizzed through the half hour. Still got loads of texts I could have got to, so we'll save those for another day. Thank you very much for your intel again today, and best of luck during the lockdown.
You can get all this on the blog.
Mindfulnessfordogs.com is where you go, and that is the number 4, not the written out 4. Hey, Darren, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You've been listening to Darren Rowe on The Mindful Dog, giving our canine friends a voice throughout the world. To find out more about what we do, visit our website at www.mindfulnessfordogs.com.